So I haven't read a single book in the last week and a half. It's time to do something about that. Hi everybody, it's Lydia here. So today is a TBR for a self-enforced quarantine. I haven't been able to get over a book hangover since finishing S last week, and it sucks and I hate it and I want to read books again. So next week I am taking a break from BookTube, sort of. I'm still going to be doing my top 5 Wednesday, and on Friday I will be releasing a roundup of that week's Book a Day UK things, you know, so I don't have to do one every day. But apart from that, there aren't going to be any other videos because I want to spend time reading. I have a massive TBR pile that has been building so rapidly over the last couple of months, and I want to try and make at least a little bit of a dent in it. So I have 5 books that I'm going to try and read next week. This might extend into the following week, but I'll see what I feel like at the end of next week. So yeah, this is my TBR for the quarantine. So the first book is Alias Hook by Lisa Jensen. I mentioned this in my September book haul a couple of weeks ago. I got it for my birthday and I really am excited about reading this book. I've been trying to read it this week. As you can see, I have read 22 pages. That is how well I've done in the past week in terms of reading. It's basically the flip side to Peter Pan. It's kind of like Once Upon a Time, the Neverland plotline that they had last season. It's similar to that, and it's basically about this woman that somehow ends up in Neverland, and it sounds really interesting. And so hopefully I am going to finish this next week. In fact, I'm going to finish it next week. The next book is Horns by Joe Hill. This is a book actually I started when I was reading S because there's so much stuff in S that might fall out. I can't like take it anywhere with me, so when I went out one day I took this book instead to read. So I'm 26 pages into this book. This is a horror and it's about a guy named Ignatius. His girlfriend was killed last year and everyone in his town thinks he did it, even though I don't think he did. At least he pretends he doesn't. I'm reading it for a buddy read in October, so I have to read this month, and it's just something a bit different because I don't often read horror, but I do really like it when I do read it, so yeah, looking forward to this. Book number 4 is another birthday book, and that is The Taxidermist Daughter by Kate Moss. I really want to read this, and I've been trying to hold out because I have all these other books to read that I've got so many more other books that I bought before this one, but I just really want to read it. So this is kind of, if I read the first 3 I will read this one, but it's basically a kind of gothic-y fiction, I think. It's by Kate Moss, who obviously did Labyrinth, and I'm really excited about this book. Oh look, it's all kind of hologrammy. You probably can't see, but there's like a hologram. Anyway, I really want to read this book. And book number 5, which I may or may not get around to depending on how well next week goes, is Green Girl by Kate Zambrino. This is a kind of feminist fiction, I guess, in a way. Heard about it through Bad Feminist by Roxane Gay, and it's really floppy. But I'm really interested to see what this book is about because it's meant to be sort of challenging the patriarchy, all that kind of thing. So it's completely different to any of the other books on my TBR, and hopefully it'll be good because I've heard good things about it. So that is my TBR. I tried to pick 5 relatively different books, so I've sort of gone for like fantasy, horror, what's that, like myth, fantasy, I don't know what that is, gothic fiction, and contemporary feminist thing. I'm so good at the genre, aren't I? Believe me. So that is it for my TBR. I am off to quarantine. I will see you again next week for a brief moment on Wednesday for my top 5 Wednesday, and again on Friday for my Book a Day UK roundup thing. But until then, have a good weekend and bye!